All right, what's going on, boys? We got a trade recap today for Tuesday, June 2nd. Took a win this morning on NQ. Feels good after taking that loss yesterday. And I always say this, but winners eat losers. So that's the beauty of trading, is if you can remain disciplined and realize that there's always going to be another day to come with more greater opportunity. There's always going to be more opportunity. So took this trade here on NQ. I got to make this video pretty quick, so we're going to get into the bias, what I was looking for. And this morning I was actually running a bit late onto the charts, so all I sent out was this picture with an arrow pointing towards all-time highs. We were holding bullish gaps and wanted to just see continuation higher. Two all-time highs. We were in all-time high conditions. Shorts failed yesterday, and then we had another failure swing overnight. Higher lows just all the way across the board. We're at all-time highs, so the default is want to see bullish price action. And that's what we got. So we ended up coming down even further, and I'm just going to go full screen NQ because ES is pretty much the same story, and I executed on NQ. But we ended up coming down even further into the range and rebalancing. We tapped this lower 1 hour fair value gap, but yeah, as you can see, there were 1 hour fair value gaps all throughout the range. And so at this point in time, we rebalance and we get this flip higher, and I'm looking to potentially go long to this hourly liquidity right here. After this nice 5-minute candle flip, boom, we run through the 5-minute bearish imbalance. Good displacement, very, very sexy to this original buy side liquidity. I was trying to get filled. I had a limit order set down here in this 5-minute gap for a 1.2 RR, and you can see it never got filled. So I never got filled on a limit order. We ended up taking the first closest buy side liquidity, and I want to see, okay, we're going to displace past it and continue higher towards all-time highs, or are we going to stall out and not do anything else? But this was the hourly and the 15-minute candle close. So just coming to the hourly chart again, zoom out when in doubt and you want to know, are we going to continue higher? What are we going to do here? Zoom out, and the higher time frame candles are going to tell you the story. They're going to paint the picture. If we weren't going to continue higher here, this hourly candle, look how bullish this hourly candle is. Closing at the extreme of the candle, above the internal high, after rebalancing to a bullish gap. This bullish gap should deliver us to all-time highs if that draw on liquidity is correct. And this candle close above the internal highs gives me confidence to slap on risk after that point in time. Also, 15-minute candle close. So at this point in time, the next 15-minute candle continues even higher. Continues even higher into the range. And so I'm like, okay, if we get a retrace, I'm good to go long because, like I said, all-time highs is A++ draw on liquidity. Higher time frames are confirming it for me. So after this 15-minute candle closed, I placed a limit order here for a 1.2 RR. I always say this, if I'm going to place a limit order, I'm going to aim for greater than a 1-to-1 risk to reward, because odds are my limit order isn't going to bottom tick this move, right? You can see I went into a bit of a drawdown here because I don't know how deep this retrace is going to be. I'm just banking on the higher time frame context and the higher time frame draw on liquidity, and I just want to get filled. So it's not based on any sort of ICT concepts. I guess you could say this turns into an order block, blah, 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 blah. But what am I doing? I'm keeping it simple. I'm prioritizing the high time frame draw on liquidity and the high time frame closes. So I placed a limit order here with stop loss below these 15-minute candle bodies. It was also below the hourly candle body. And wanting to see if this is an efficient move higher, we shouldn't come. In reality, we shouldn't come all the way back down here. If this is going to be an efficient move higher towards the all-time highs, we should give a retrace into this general area. Just want to get tapped for 1.2 RR, keeping it simple, and then we should head to all-time highs. And that's exactly what we did. like I said, a little bit scary because I was in, I mean, pretty decent drawdown just immediately. We ended up flipping higher, and once we came back up to this internal high, I went break even, and it was a slow grind higher towards all-time highs. Took an hour and a half, but sometimes when you're taking trades based off the higher time frames and it's a little bit later into market open, you have to be able to stomach a longer trade because it's just going to be a longer trade, right? I'm not taking it based on the 1 minute chart within the first 15 to 30 minutes of market open, right? It's just going to take a little bit longer, but understanding that draw on liquidity, it doesn't matter if it's 8:30, 9:30 New York open, or if it's an hour later than that, the draw on liquidity is still the draw on liquidity. So, yeah, like I said, got to wrap this video up pretty quick. That's a trade recap from me. And that was my bias, how I executed, what I saw, all my thoughts coming into today. Winners eat losers, and just going to remain having a disciplined mindset throughout the rest of the week. And just keep it up. So that's all I got. Appreciate you watching, man. Let me know if it's a good trade or not. Code FST on all your favorite props if you want to support me. And the free Discord will be in the description below as well if you want to join that. That's all I got. Appreciate you watching, man. And I will see y'all tomorrow in tomorrow's market recap. Peace.